Tell me your guys' names.
I'm Miles Hartwig.
Sierra what?
Spaghetti. Emily Bird.
Miles Hartwig.
Can you introduce yourself and your position at Union?
My name is Brian Grimsted. I'm the principal here at Union.
Who chooses what books that we read in high school English classes?
I think, Union being a new school, although it's been 9 years or 8 years, really what happened was some English teachers chose some books as a group, and then sometimes it's individual teachers, sometimes it's the school district. Some books have been traditionally used for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So there's kind of the history of it, the tradition, what people think a 9th grader should read, a 10th, 11th, and 12th graders. It could be the district, could be what part of the country. So there's a bunch of different factors, but I think at the end of the day, teachers choose the books.
Okay. Do you know the qualities of academic literature?
Do I know the qualities of academic literature? I'm not a big guy on the word academic. I just think literature is what people love to read, and I think there's some people that are kind of highbrowish and act like some things are academic and some things aren't. I really don't see the world like that. I think whatever you like to read can be academic. You can learn a ton from it. So I don't really know when they say academic. Did you say academic literature?
Yeah, like.
Well, I think in the old days, 30 years ago, it was all the dead white guys. That's who you're supposed to read. Sometimes they use the word canon. Like there's a canon of literature, a body of literature that's really important to know. I really don't see the world like that. I think it just depends who you are and what your interests are. And does everybody need to read Romeo and Juliet? I don't think so. And everybody hasn't, and a lot of people are fine, but some people believe all of us should read certain things. So long answer to a short question, I'm not sure that when they say what are the qualities of academic literature. I think anything that helps you learn and helps you think and connects you with other people, you could call academic literature.
Okay. Do you know, maybe some qualities of a book that might be rejected or that a teacher would not be allowed?
I would say there's some general community standards. Each community might be a little bit different, so it depends on the community. Did you say, so what are some of the qualities of a book that would be?
Yeah, like some things in a book,
Yeah, well, I think if the content was considered to, I don't want to say like the movie ratings, but let's say if it's, yeah, kind of racy, like an R movie has some, I think it would tend to be violence. You could have more violence in a book and they'd be okay with, but if it has some racy thing or some relationship, some things about sex, that might be things that people go, okay, those. Or in other communities, let's say if it's a community that's all Muslim and it was a book that they saw as anti-Muslim, so I guess it depends on, but I think there's community standards in here. I don't know sometimes if they're as clear, but there's district standards, there's community standards that people, we all sort of know where it's at, and then sometimes people, it also depends how the teacher teaches the book or how you think and talk about it. If you talk about it, there's been some books where nobody was upset with, and then other books that people got the same book with a different teacher, people freaked out. Yeah. Right, this book is wrong, it should not be used in schools. So depends how it's used or taught or worked with.
What books do you think are appropriate for high school students?
Well, as the principal, I just depend on the English teachers and to work with the librarian, and I just depend and trust those people. Personally, I think as a parent, I'm fine with whatever. I think whatever's appropriate is whatever you read. Honestly, there's some things that I would not want my teenagers to read, but I don't know. I'm trying to think what that is.
Don't really know titles.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of no more of an area. Honestly, I can't. I think it's great. I think when you read, you're getting smarter and you're learning. To me, reading makes you smarter. That's been my experience. So I think it's just great to read anything. And I think the more you read, the more sophisticated you became as a reader of whatever you're into. I had an uncle who was like a genius, and all he read was comic books, but he was always the smartest guy in the room. But then he read thousands of comic books, and he collected. He was obsessed with comic books. Well, some people go, well, that's a waste of time, but he's one of the smartest guys I know or have known. So I think the more you read, the more you end up finding it for yourself. I think it's a personal answer, I guess.
All right. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up everything.
Perfect. Appreciate your